Hey, Snow Creek Homestead. Today we're talking about giant ragweed. Giant ragweed. I'm feeding rabbits. My rabbit feed is reduced about 25 to 30% of what it originally was. So we're feeding about 70% invasive species to them. Some of the invasive species are, like I say, giant ragweed. We got some lamb's quarter we'll look at, and another one that's not invasive but everybody likes to eat is sweet potato greens. So we're probably going to do 50% giant ragweed and maybe 10-15% of each of lamb's quarter and sweet potatoes. Really depends on the time of year. The lamb's quarter is getting some age to it, and it don't have near as the values of nutrients as we're looking for. But the giant ragweed kind of comes and goes because some of them are huge. Let me pull one over. This thing is, I don't know, 8-10 feet tall, and you can just I just break the limbs off like this. You can see it, yeah, you can see them. So just break them off, and then I'll lay them here. I'll carry them in to the rabbits. I'll show you what the rabbits' reaction is to these, because some may not believe that this ragweed is this good. The seed pod, according to university studies, is 40 to 47% protein at this stage. I'm sure the older stage of the leaves aren't that high in protein, but this is new growth on the end here, so I think it is pretty heavy on protein. My rabbits are doing great. I got grow outs. I got moms, does with little kits, and everybody seems to be doing good. And I'll use about 25% pellets. I think them pellets are still pretty good. It's just something you got to buy, and it probably has different minerals in it, and that's just I think the right thing to kind of do. It's formulated for a rabbit. But what we're doing here is trying to get plenty of feed for these, and I'm gonna break a few more off here. So some of the younger ones here, if they break pretty good, I'll take them. Then you got, like I say, the older ones that are huge. They just pop off. So I'm gonna start out with this, and I'll show you some other things we get a hold of here to feed these rabbits. So here we got some sweet potatoes I just grown for cover crop for a little cherry tree. We got our comfrey. Always have comfrey with your cherry trees and stuff, with your trees. So I just pull some greens off the sweet potatoes. I like to stress my sweet potatoes out. When you stress them out, it makes them put bigger tubers on. Let's hit another. Actually, let's grab a couple pieces of comfrey. We'll mix in with that. This is comfrey. You'll be wanting to get you plenty of comfrey. I'm just going to get like one leaf per cage. And that'll be what your comfrey looks like. Let's hit some more sweet potatoes over here. So we're here with these sweet potatoes. I did a lot of sweet potato videos, and this one here I did a video on this particular tire full of sweet potatoes. I'm stressing this plant to the max, the way I'm looking at it, to try to see if there's a difference in tubers. I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison. but well, I guess we better stay on track here with these rabbits. I'm just pulling greens off of this. I don't really get too worked up about these plants. If they think they're dying, especially this plant, if it thinks it's under stress, I'm hoping it puts huge multi tubers on here on the sweet potato plant. So this is about as many sweet potatoes I get. When I double this, I just got some from over there. Got a little comfrey, and my lamb's quarter has gone to seed. It's pretty rough looking, but let's go look at it. So this is lamb's quarter. It's gone to seed. It don't look near as robust as it did at one time. It does have a seed head though. But I like giving my animals a different kind of feed instead of one feed all the time. Just like us, we need different nutrients for our bodies to grow and such. So I got some grow outs, and like I say, I got some that's some does that's got some babies in there. So I'm gonna knock some of these off. I'm gonna see, yeah, you can see that. You can break the whole thing off, but I usually just leave them until I take the top, and then so a little bit of lamb's quarter for them. Let me collect up my lamb's quarter and my sweet potatoes, and then we'll get the giant ragweed, and then we'll see what a rabbit looks like, if they like it or not, and I think they do. So here I am in my rabbit hutches, and this is one of the breeding does that's bred, and she has babies. I guess she's not bred. She's got babies in there, so we want to make sure she has full amount of food that she needs to make the most amount of milk. So we got our lamb's quarter, we got our sweet potatoes, giant ragweed. So I usually break them into, break them down a little bit to get them in there. And I got a piece of comfrey or two in there with her. So high nutrient. This comfrey is very high nutrient. I don't feed them large amounts of comfrey, but I do feed them a little. I don't even latch her door. I just leave it flop around. She don't even want to get out. So we have a few grow outs over here. We'll look at them. So here's some grow outs. I need to leave a few for the buck. I'll separate them out. As you can see though, they'll jump right on eating these ragweed and such. So I usually break them up, as in just so they ain't everywhere. It looks like a jungle in there when I stick them in there, and then the next day they'll have everything ate, maybe not a stem, and they'll have their pellets pretty much ate. They may have a little. I try to feed them to a level of pellet that they don't eat all their food. I try to watch their weight. I don't want them to get too heavy, but we really like them to finish up their food. Comfrey, sweet potato. Then I got some lamb's quarter on the floor. I'll throw in here too. So I just want to talk to you about the rabbits that you can feed and cut your bill by, 70%, 75%. Wintertime, a little tougher. you don't have the greenery, but we got a pretty high clover, alfalfa mix and grass, just mixtures of grass hay. I feed the goats, and they'll be eating that this winter. And sometimes I throw in hay right now, but since they really like and they're doing good on this this mixture I got naturally growing here, and I just think it's a good way for you to grow some meat without breaking the bank. You know what I mean? So we just have a couple does, and then we got a little bit of a grow out cage. I'm probably gonna keep a few of these does back, as some other does are getting a little older, and then the other ones get graduated to like a freezer camp. I guess you heard of that before. And I got a couple bucks. I got one buck that's just running loose for last year. He's friendly. He's like a pet to me. He comes in and out of here. For some reason, the cats aren't eating him, and when I need him, I'll rotate him in with the other does. It's not non-related. So I know that's a little bit of a crazy way to do something, but it seems to be working for me. So he feeds himself. I never feed him. He's got water out there he drinks out same place chickens will eat and drink. And I don't know, he comes in and out of the stall, and comes and goes as he pleases. So we'll keep experimenting with him. So he's a different character for sure. So I think that's all I have here on Snell Creek Homestead. If you like me, give me a thumbs up. I'm just trying to encourage somebody to grow food for themselves and have fun doing it. You know, I mean, this is the way to go. Just have fun, if nothing else. Learn skills and knowledge that you can keep with you for a lifetime, and maybe pass it on. That's what I'm trying to do here, giving somebody else something to think about on their feeding, you know. And it ain't just cutting costs. These animals really enjoy this. They're very happy. This door is open a lot of times. I might forget. I'm not good at latching the cages all the time, you know. And if they get out, I catch them right back, throw them back in. This doe never gets out. My buck, his door's open 75% of the time. He don't even want to leave. He's got everything he needs in there. He's secure. I think he thinks it's security. So we as a people may want to watch feeling too secure when it makes and not being free. And maybe that's something we should not take from these rabbits, but maybe understand that they're not free and don't really know any better, that they're not. And they can just jump out of the cage and be free. Because that's what happened to the other buck. He didn't want to stay in the cage. And when he didn't stay in the cage, I decided to let him be free. He could die. It's probably more dangerous. But being free might be worth that. Hey, it's Snell Creek Homestead. Grow up food and have some fun.